Hey guys, it's Freya. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys my weekly training routine. I train 5 days a week and rest for 2 days. As for cardio, I usually do it twice a week, mostly boxing or playing tennis. Sometimes I do fasted cardio on the treadmill in the morning, usually a slow 30 minutes walk. I also try to make sure I hit around 10,000 steps every day. And here's how I split my week. Day 1 is shoulder day. Day 2 is lower body day with a focus on glutes and hamstrings. Day 3 is back. Then I take a rest day. Day 5 is shoulders and upper chest. And day 6 is lower body again. This time focusing more on legs and quads. And the last day is rest. Right now I'm focusing on building a fuller shoulders. So I train shoulders twice a week. But if you just want a standard routine, like without specifically targeting on shoulder fullness, you can skip 1 shoulder day. So that's 4 training days and 3 rest days. And this setup works well for most women, whether you're just starting out or have been training for a while, to lower body days to upper body days, plus enough rest. Now let's dive into my daily workouts and I will show you exactly what I do each day. Monday is all about shoulders. I always start with a short warm-up. Each movement lasts around 20 seconds to activate the shoulders and improve mobility. A proper warm-up increases blood flow, improves joint control, and prepares the shoulders for heavier loading later in the session. The first exercise is the dumbbell shoulder press. I like to place heavy compound movements at the beginning of the workout when strength and focus are at their peak. Shoulder growth still requires sufficient load, so don't be afraid to challenge yourself with heavier weights. Lower the dumbbells until your upper arms are roughly parallel to the floor. Keep your core tight, avoid excessive lower back arching, and press the weight up in a controlled path. I perform 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Next is the Smith machine shoulder press. This movement provides more stability, allowing you to focus on consistent output and control. Keep your forearms vertical throughout the lift and lower the bar to around nose level. Avoid rushing the reps or locking out too aggressively at the top. Maintain constant tension on the shoulders. This exercise is done for 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Third exercise is a dumbbell lateral raise, targeting the lateral head of the delts. This movement doesn't require heavy weight. You don't need to raise the dumbbells too high. Lifting the arms to about a 60-degree angle relative to the body is enough. Focus on control rather than range of motion, and keep tension on the delts throughout the set. I perform 4 sets of 15 reps. To continue targeting the lateral delts, I move on to the machine lateral raise. If your gym doesn't have this machine, cables are a solid alternative. It's same as the dumbbell lateral raise. Initiate the movement from the shoulders, not the hands, and avoid shrugging. I do 4 sets of 15 reps. Next is the reverse Pec Deck Fly. Focusing on the rear delts, I lightly rest my forehead against the pad and slightly round my upper back. This helps reduce trapezius involvement and keep the tension on the rear delts. The range of motion is relatively short and controlled. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps. The final exercise is the dumbbell front raise, targeting the anterior delts. I use an incline bench for stability, keeping my back firmly against the pad. Raise the dumbbells to about head height. No need to go higher and slow tempo, especially during the lowering phase. Avoid letting gravity take over. I finish with 4 sets of 12 reps. Tuesday is a lower body day with a focus on glutes and hamstrings before training. Warming up is extremely important. If you want better glute activation and higher training quality, you really need to spend a few minutes activating the lower body. Each activation movement lasts around 30 seconds. Focus on opening up the hips, waking up the muscles, and improving your man-muscle connection. This helps you move better, squat deeper, and prevents that can't get down feeling once the workout starts. The first exercise is a Smith machine Romanian deadlift. I use a Smith machine instead of barbells or dumbbells workout because the fixed path allows me to focus more on glute engagement. This movement is all about control, not heavy weight. I elevate the entire foot. This increases the range of motion and allows for deeper stretch in the glutes and hamstrings. I perform each rep slowly, especially on the way down. If you control the tempo properly, the burn builds up very quickly. I do 4 sets of 12 reps. Next is the Smith machine Bulgarian split squat, a true love-hate exercise. You can also perform this with dumbbells if you prefer. As you lower down, keep your front shin close to vertical and your side roughly parallel to the floor. Maintain a slightly forward lean to bias the glutes. Push through the front heel to stand back up, and control the descent throughout the movement. I perform 4 sets of 10 reps per leg. The next exercise is a hip thrust. By this point, my glutes are already burning. For this movement, I focus on control rather than speed or heavy weight. Pause for 1 or 2 seconds at the top to fully engage the glutes. Keep your chin slightly tucked, raise your core, and make sure your shins are vertical at the top position. I perform 4 sets of 10 reps, maintaining constant tension. Next is a machine kickback. I use a kickback machine here, which allows for better stability and acceleration. If your gym doesn't have this one, you can use a cable setup instead. The key focus is keeping the pelvis stable. Avoid rotating or shifting the hips as you extend the leg. Move slowly and stay in control through the entire range of motion. I perform 4 sets of 10 reps per leg. After that, I move on to the seated hip abduction. You can lean slightly forward, stay upright, or lean back. But in all cases, keep your core tight. Your upper body should remain stable, and all the movement should come from the glutes. When returning to the starting position, don't fully relax. Maintain tension throughout the entire set. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps, and at this point, the glutes are seriously burning. The final exercise targets the hamstrings, the lying leg curl. Keep your upper body pressed firmly into the bench. I don't go very heavy here. This exercise is about control and muscle engagement. Lower the weight slowly and avoid letting it drop. I finish with 4 sets of 12 reps. On glute focus days, I'm not chasing heavy numbers, but quality reps. Wednesday is a back day. I didn't film a specific warm-up for this session, but it's still important to prepare your back before training. You can use a foam roller and a few simple scapular activation drills to get the upper back ready and improve control. The first exercise is pull-ups. If you can't do bodyweight pull-ups yet, assisted pull-ups or resistance bands are great alternatives. Take each side close to failure and really feel the back doing the work. I perform 4 total sets. Next is a wet grip Lat Pulldown. If you're working toward bodyweight pull-ups, this is a great exercise to build the required strength. Being able to pull close to your body weight here usually means pull-ups are within reach. Avoid shrugging. Pull the bar toward the upper chest around collarbone level. I perform 4 sets of 10 reps, keeping the movement controlled. The third exercise is a single-arm row machine. If your gym doesn't have this machine, dumbbells work just as well. Keep your torso slightly lean forward with a tight core, but avoid rounding the lower back. Start the movement by engaging the shoulder blade, then let the arm follow. Keep your forearm close to vertical and your upper arm close to your body. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps per set. Next is the seated row machine, using a wider grip to emphasize back width. Maintain about a 45-degree angle between your upper arms and your torso. Keep your forearms roughly parallel to the floor. Pull onto your upper arms slightly past your torso. No need to overpull. Focus on controlled reps and feeling the upper back working. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps. After that, I move on to the seated cable row using a close neutral grip. This variation places more emphasis on mid-back thickness. Sit upright with your chest open and ass forward. As you lower the weight, move slowly and allow a slight forward lean. When pulling, avoid explosive movements. Control the weight and stop once you feel the shoulder blades fully contract. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps. The final exercise is straight arm pull down, one of my favorite finishers. This movement is great for fully exhausting the back. Keep the angle between your upper arms and forearms fixed throughout the side. Initiate the movement from the shoulders, not the elbows. Avoid swinging or using momentum and keep constant tension on the lats. I finish with 4 sets of 12 reps, really focusing on squeezing the back. After a rest day, we're back with another shoulder workout. This time adding some upper chest work. The warm-up is similar to my usual shoulder warm-up. The first exercise is the incline dumbbell press. I set the bench at around a 60-degree angle. Make sure your shoulder blades stay firmly pressed into the bench and your hips stay planted. This movement is great for upper chest and front delts, so I recommend using the heaviest weight you can control. If possible, having a spotter can really help you push those last few reps safely. I perform 4 sets of 10 reps. Next is the dumbbell shoulder press. I slightly incline the bench around 15 degrees for more stability, keeping your shoulder blades and hips firmly against the bench. Focus on controlled reps rather than speed. I perform 4 sets of 10 reps. The next exercise is the overhead press. Here I'm using a machine, but if your gym doesn't have one, a barbell works just as well. Keeping your core tight and avoid excessive lower back arching. Press the weight up in a straight, controlled path, and don't rush the reps. Lower the weight under control to maintain tension. I perform 4 sets of 10 reps. Next is the Pec Deck Fly. This movement targets the chest and helps add volume after pressing exercises. Keep the angle between your upper arms and forearms fixed throughout the movement. Focus on controlling both the opening and closing phases, rather than letting the weight pull your arms back too fast. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps. After that, I move on to the reverse Pec Deck Fly, focusing on the rear delts. I slightly round my upper back to reduce trap involvement and keep the tension on the rear delts. Avoid squeezing the shoulder blades too hard. Think about moving the arms rather than pulling with the back. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps. Next is the dumbbell lateral raise, targeting the lateral delts. Use a moderate weight. Raise the dumbbells to about shoulder level, not too high, without swinging or using momentum. I perform 4 sets of 15 reps. The final exercise is the dumbbell front raise. I set the bench at a slight incline and lie back against the bench for support. Raise the dumbbells to about head height. Control the tempo throughout the movement, especially on the way down, and avoid using momentum. I finish with 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps. Saturday is another lower body day. Yes, even on the weekend, we're still training. This session still focuses on the glutes, but with a bit more emphasis on the quads. Before we start, the warm-up is non-negotiable. Do some dynamic movements to open up the hips and get the lower body ready. Each movement lasts around 30 seconds, just enough to activate and improve mobility before loading the legs. First exercise is a Smith machine squat. Set your stance about shoulder width apart, lower down until your thighs are roughly parallel to the floor. Compared to a barbell squat, the Smith machine provides more stability, which helps you focus on glute engagement. As you stand back up, avoid aggressively thrusting the hips forward. Simply return to a neutral, upright position. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps. Next is the wide stance squat, which can also be done with dumbbells. Take a stance wider than shoulder width with your toes slightly turned out. As you descend, sit back into the hips first and keep pushing the knees outward in line with the toes. When standing up, drive through the heels and the outer edge of the feet. This movement heavily targets the glutes and inner thighs. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps. Next up is walking lunge. This exercise mainly targets the quads, so choose a dumbbell weight you can control. Keep your torso upright and your core tight. Lower down until the front thigh is parallel to the floor, with the back knee lightly touching the ground. Push through the front leg to stand back up. This one is extremely challenging. I perform 3 full walks. After that, I move on to the single leg and goat leg press. Place your foot higher on the platform and focus on pushing through the heel. Avoid letting the knee collapse inward during the press. Control the lowering phase and feel the stretch in the glutes at the bottom. Keep your pelvis pressed firmly into the seat. Don't use your lower back to move the weight. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps per leg, and by the end, the glutes are on fire. Next is a seated hip abduction. Keep your core tight and control the movement from start to finish. Avoid rushing the reps or relaxing completely at the bottom. I perform 4 sets of 12 reps. The final exercise is a seated hip abduction. Keep your upper body pressed into the backrest. Slowly control both the squeezing and the return phase. Avoid using explosive force. Stay smooth and controlled throughout. I finish with 4 sets of 12 reps.